Chapter 9. Kess took the lift to the fourth floor of the Oren block and walked down the narrow corridor to her unit. She put her key card against the lock. The light stayed red. She tried again. Red. She knocked on the door and waited. Footsteps sounded from inside. A moment later, the door opened. A woman Kess had never seen before stood in the doorway holding a spatula. Behind her, a child sat on the floor watching something on a screen. The kitchen, which Kess had once used for storage, smelled of cooking oil. "Can I help you?" the woman asked. "I live here," Kess said. "We moved in last week. Is there a problem?" Kess shook her head. "No problem." She went downstairs to the management office. The man behind the counter looked up as she approached. "There seems to be a mistake. I can't access my apartment," she said and gave the number. The manager tapped at his terminal for several seconds, then shook his head. "Your lease was terminated." Kess stared at him. "I never terminated my lease." The manager pointed at the screen. "It says here you got a new place." Kess felt a knot form in her stomach. "What happened to my belongings?" "They were packed and moved to storage." He opened a drawer and produced 2 cards. "The first one is for the storage unit. The second is for your new residence." The address of the new residence was on the other side of the city. She took the transit line across town, watching the districts change through the window. Working class gave way to commercial, commercial to professional, professional to elite. The address was a fancy tower in the Callister district. She couldn't afford a cup of coffee in the Callister district. A doorman stood in the lobby. His dark uniform was perfectly tailored, with gold trim at the cuffs and collar and spit-shine shoes. The watch on his wrist alone probably cost more than Kess earned in a month. He checked her access code, bowed, and gestured toward a private lift at the far end of the lobby. "Welcome home, Miss Turner," he said. "Have we met?" she asked. "Not that I know, Miss Turner." She had a dozen more questions for the doorman, but decided to let them go for now and made her way to the lift. The lift opened directly into the apartment. There was no hallway and no shared corridor. For a moment, Kess simply stared. The lift itself was the entrance. Kess stepped out and stopped. The space was enormous. Floor-to-ceiling windows wrapped 2 sides, looking out over the Leptis skyline. The ceiling was high enough to feel wasteful. The floors were a dark hardwood. The kitchen was the size of her old apartment. She walked from room to room, trying to take it all in. The master bedroom held a bed that was wider than her old bathroom. A second bedroom sat across the hall, along with a private study. There were 2 full bathrooms, one of which contained a tub carved from a single block of stone. Beyond the living area, a terrace wrapped around the corner of the building and looked out across the city to the distant horizon. She found the terminal in the study and pulled up the property records. The unit was registered in her name. Kess Turner. The price was 52 million credits. Paid in full. No mortgage, no lien. The transaction was clean and complete. 52 million credits. Kess made $61,000 a year before deductions. She had 412 credits in her savings account. A card sat on the kitchen counter, propped against a vase of fresh flowers. It was printed on heavy cream-colored stock. The message had been written by hand. "Detective Turner, your work on Savitar was exemplary. Ruthless, but exemplary. I trust your new accommodation reflects the appreciation such dedication deserves. Welcome home, Aldrin Vasek." Kess set the card down, walked to the window, and looked out at the city. She had to talk to her boss. Kess called Caldera. "I'm standing in a 52 million credit penthouse with my name on the deed," she said. "I know," he said. "You knew." "I was informed." "Aldrin Vasek is a killer," she said. "So are you, Turner." Kess ignored the comment. "What am I supposed to do?" she asked. "You're supposed to say thank you. And if I don't accept it?" "Turner, I'm going to say this once and I need you to hear it. You are a Series 3000 capstone. You are the most sophisticated synthetic platform ever built. You are also, at the end of the day, a platform. Whether you like it or not, you have an on-off switch." "There's a practical problem," she said. "What?" "Property taxes. I can't pay taxes on a 52 million credit property. My salary won't cover it. The annual tax alone would be more than I make in a decade." Caldera laughed. "There are no property taxes on holdings above 50 million credits, Turner. Residential property valued at 50 million or above is classified as a capital asset and taxed at a rate of 0%. I didn't know. The people who own these properties write the laws? The channel closed. Her comm chimed. She thought it was Caldera calling her back, but it was an unknown caller. She opened the channel. Detective Turner. She recognized the voice from the mind rip. She'd heard it giving the order to have her killed. Mr. Vasek. I trust you've settled in. I have. Good. I'd like to take you to dinner. When? Tonight? I'll send a car at 8. Do you have something to wear? Something sexy? Kess looked across the room at her bag, still packed, sitting on the floor by the door. Inside it, folded between 2 changes of plain clothes, was a black dress she'd bought in the Marrow district. I'll manage, she said. I look forward to dinner, Kess. The channel closed. Kess stood at the window watching the city. Then she went to get dressed.